Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And it's Friday and a time for a color ant chat. I've been waiting all day to do this because my throat is still not 100% back, and actually everything seems to be, shall we say, coming out. I'm blowing my nose a lot and I am coughing a lot today. So I wanted to have my cough over with before I started this, but that's not going to happen. So hopefully I won't have to pause this while I have a major coughing fit, but you may hear a few clearings of my throat because I'm not going to pause it for that. So one of my lovely subbies asked me to color in a Millie Marotta book, and so that's what I'm going to do for you today. This is, well, I picked one. I have all of her books except for two. Her first one and the Birds one. The last two books she's published have been collections. One is called Wild Creatures, which I have, and the newest one is called Brilliant Beasts, but it's also a collection of previous work. So she's either got to come out with a new book for us or she's done, which I hope not. So here goes my throat. Oh, I'm going to have to pause. So, I haven't worked in tropical, what did I just say it was called? Tropical World yet. And having looked through the pictures of them all, like, you know, browsing through the books, this one is my favorite. So, I am kind of sad that I haven't worked in it yet. I picked the crab because I am a astrological Cancer, and going to use my brush tips. These are water soluble markers. They're the double tip. They're the dual ended brush tip markers, which you can get in these exact same markers in a whole bunch of different brands, and the ones I have are actually not even branded. They just say, I don't know if you can read that, went the wrong way, double head colored pen. So exciting a name. So I picked the colorway red, orange, yellow, and pink. I saw somebody else use this color combination and I thought it was a wonderful twist on the popular red, orange, yellow combo. To add a pink in there, it looked really pretty. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to tack this like we would a mandala. That's what I like about Zen doodled animals and such, is because they're just like doing different shaped mandalas. So I was just about to start when I realized I can't see. Where are my glasses? Here we go. Okay, she can see. I'll just get on my chair properly. Oh dear. You think you're ready and then everything goes wrong when you turn the camera on. I can't even see through the glasses. Oh boy. So, how are you today? I have had a pretty good day, which is nice to be able to say. It's Friday, so I always usually feel pretty good on Fridays with having got my shot on Thursdays. So, why don't we start with the legs and how do they work? Okay, so they're symmetrical, the legs. Do they repeat themselves? No. Okay, so I think I'll just go down one leg with a color, then do the same, and yeah. Alright. Okay, so we are going to work with red down this leg. Let me see if I got you in there. Unless, I think I'm going to put you in just a little bit more. I don't have a sheet under here, which I should do. Let's just grab these two. Now, these are pretty juicy, so as long as I don't go over and over the same spot, they won't bleed through. But they will easily if I do go over the same spot. See, like that will definitely have bled through, see? This, of course, is Amazon printed paper, while this is a Millie Marotta book. So it has a nice paper to work on. So, I was asking how you were and telling you how I was. So it's a fairly uneventful day today. My hubby was home most of the day and he's out working all evening. He went out at 3 and he comes home at 11. So I should be done this by then. Not the picture, just the coloring chat. Okay, so let's skip some red and let's make the little doohickey on the end red. Oh, my cat is trying to get into my room. Well, she's not really my cat, she's my son's. She's not allowed in this room. It's just too... There is just too much stuff all over the place, and we have the clumsiest cat in creation. She cannot jump up onto something without knocking over half the stuff on the thing she's jumping up onto. She cannot jump off of something without either knocking stuff off or skidding and sliding when she lands. Oh, I tell ya. She'll take off like a bullet sometimes and, of course, leave in her way knocked over items. But she is very, very persistent. I am surprised she stopped at my door, because usually she'll do it forever. She would scratch at your door for hours. If you could stand to listen to it, because her meows just get louder and louder. You'd think she'd tire herself out, which probably does, but she's too persistent to listen to that. Okay, so let's just make sure it's not going through. Okay, it's ghosting a bit. That's okay, I don't mind. Oh dear, don't tell me I'm going to cough again. Sip. Okay, a little clear of throat. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about what everybody's talking about these days, and that's the changes here on YouTube. It's been going on for quite a while, and now it's getting down to the crunch. So everybody is finally starting to pay attention. I started making changes a couple months back. Started adding adult. Every time I want to use the word coloring, I put adult in front of it, so it says adult coloring. Not a big deal, but I have noticed now that they're implementing changes that it is making a difference, because I have seen other people's videos from other people that I follow and watch. I've been at one of their videos and seen it put into the children's category. And none of mine have done that. I haven't gone back and looked at really old ones. But I think I can only go forward. There's no reason to go back. I think I set my channel to not child friendly, even though it is, because it is not favorable to be child friendly in these times. That's not what you want if you want to be a monetized channel and you want to interact with your followers. You know what? I forgot to just wait a minute. I am working on the next leg. I did both legs. Oh my goodness. I didn't even notice I was doing that. Okay. Let's just do a few here. Jeez. Oh well. That's okay. So now I'm gonna follow the same pattern on these. Now I think I might have to use the small tip on these, so let's see. Yeah, I don't know if it's showing up as bright using the fine liner tip. Yeah, I think it's just going to look much more neat if I do. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about this, about what changes are going to happen with me and how I'm handling it. This in no way is official information that I'm stating, nor is it what you should do. It is just what I am doing, and you use your own thoughts and feelings and, common sense. Basically, I've decided to do what I'm going to do based on what big coloring YouTubers have said that they are doing, or that I noticed that they were doing. They're experienced and will definitely know what they're doing more so than I would. And I'm also following the official word from YouTube. I'm not paying attention to the people who are frantic. I do believe that some people should be frantic because this is a horrible thing that is happening. But then we also have to remember that this is happening to YouTube. It's not them who is doing it to us. It is an American, I don't know what they are, agency, federal department. I have no idea what the FTC is. Or, well, I mean, I know what it is, sort of. But I don't know if it's a government agency or if it's a government department, or if it's just some, civilian agency or whatever. But COPPA and the FTC are the guys who are in charge here. And YouTube was fined. The number that I've found in different places is a little different. But if we say almost 2 million, I think we'll be roundabouts 30,000 here or there. And they are scared. They've been told to do something, given a deadline, and they scrambled, decided what to do, which was the wrong thing, and now they've put the onus on the creators, which was not the intention in the first place. And there are people who originally commented on this. There is a person, and again, I don't know what they are. Like, it might be a senator, it might be a, who knows. It's somebody who is working up on another document to be more clear. I don't know whether this is official thing or if he's going to present it to somebody or what, but that's what I read. And one of the things that he's concerned about is that YouTube should be taking the onus upon themselves and not putting it onto the creators, which is a good thing for us. Actually, from everything, like, I've been reading news stories on, and not mainstream media. It's been kind of like a business journal articles on what happened. And sorry, I think I've been putting my hand in the way. Do I even know what I'm saying now? I've totally lost my train of thought. That's my problem. I'm a much better writer, where I can state my points in the opening paragraph and then continue to write an essay hitting each point along the way and summing up in a final paragraph. But talking, you cannot, well, I suppose people who are good talkers can talk that way, but not me. So, yeah, I think I said I had been reading lately what originally happened, and Google basically shat their pants and came up with this horrible thing that they're doing. Now, I have full confidence in YouTube that, within the next 5 years, they'll have this all sorted out and running smoothly. But that doesn't help anybody now. And it's going to affect me, and it's going to affect other small YouTubers, but The people I really feel sorry for are the big YouTubers in the crafting world who are making a living from this and who are bright spots in our community. Two who I watch that I am concerned about are Jazza and Chloe Rose Art. Oh, and Super Ray Dazzle. Both of them have excellent art channels, and what they do is 100% family friendly, though both of them will use bad language here and there. But no, the machines are going to pick up their channels and definitely find them child friendly, unless it searches for words and considers mild oaths as adult. And if it does, then we'll all just have to start adding 5 or so curses to each video to keep them non-child friendly. Wouldn't that be funny? Last year, they were going so hard. Well, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I think it was last year. They were going so hard at the creepy community that they basically tore it out of YouTube altogether. And they were telling us to be advertiser friendly, which was just a hidden way of saying family friendly. And now they don't want us to be family friendly because they're going to penalize us. What's going to happen to us if YouTube deems our channel as child friendly? Well, you can either have video. Hang on a second, I have to take another sip and probably have a cough. So what will happen if you have a video marked as child friendly, then that means that that video is going to be demonetized and is going to lose its comments are going to be turned off. There will be no communication between you and your viewers on that video at all. I think they turn off the description as well, so that you can't like put other information down there. I may not be right on that, though I am pretty sure I am. So, yeah, that's not a biggie if every now and then you have a video that happens to. But if you get a lot of them done to it, or if the machine just calls your whole channel child friendly, then you'll have that happen to all your videos. All your videos will be marked as child friendly. Your account will be marked as child friendly. And you will be demonetized as a whole. And you will lose all your interaction with your subscribers, with no commentability. You lose your community board, and you can't put any descriptions on. So basically you're just uploading for people to watch, and you're doing it because it's fun. And I mean, you know, we all like to say that we're not in it for the money, and the kind of money that we make is, you know, laughable for someone to be doing it for the money. I'm sure Jazza makes a full-time income from this. And Chloe Rose Art and Super Ray Dazzle, I'm sure both of them, if not making a full income, are making a significant increase in their household incomes. And, you know, while we may not be in it for the money, I'm going to be honest, I am. I'm not, I mean, when I say I am, it means that the money is important to me. Because I worked really, really hard to get to 1,000 subscribers. And, you know, it was a joint effort between me and you guys who were kind enough to subscribe to me. You know, I wouldn't have the subscribers without you, but, you know, I also worked very hard because it was my goal. I kind of like, you know, as a person who doesn't work and, you know, isn't healthy enough to be on volunteer committees and, you know, what have you, having a goal to reach, oh boy, I needed to be watching what I was doing over there. I did the same thing, so we're okay. Yeah, why have I put that side on? I think I just like it. So yeah, working towards getting 1,000 subbies was a long time commitment for me to stick with something and to like actually have a goal that meant something. You know, it wasn't just a little personal goal that, you know, made me want to pat myself on the back, you know. Well, while I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having personal goals that make you feel better, getting 1,000 subbies meant that I was going to be monetized. And now that I am monetized, I like it. I mean, I'm not, you know, I mean, the amount of money that I'm making is laughable, but to someone who has not worked outside the house since she was, well, let's say for the last 20 years. No. Yeah, okay, we can say 20 years. I have not worked out of, where am I going here? Which one am I at? Yeah, kind of not doing these exactly the same anymore. Close, so I guess that's good enough. They'll be asymmetrical-ish. Don't you just love the ish? Add it on anything and then make whatever it is right. Yeah, so I'll be honest with you. I started being monetized the last week and a half of July, in which I made, you know, this, oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. No wonder it isn't the same. I made $3 for that week and a half. And then, since then, August, September, and this past October, I have made $30 a month, 30-some dollars a month. And to me, that's no kick in the butt. I mean, that's a nice pocket of spending money, or, you know, that's, you know, a good amount of money to put towards groceries or something like that. Something that can make you feel validated. Now, that's not what I'm doing with the money. I'm putting the money back into the channel so that, because, you know, I spend my own money to get all the things I need for my channel, because you can't have a thriving channel that stays stagnant. You know, if you never introduce a new coloring book, if you never introduce a new supply, you know, if you're not able to meet your subscribers' requests, then your channel isn't going to thrive. And, you know, that's where I've been putting the money in. And that's fine, because it's my own spending money that I'm putting in. I have a certain amount of money every month, which I put into my channel. And, you know, some people may think I'm being frivolous with my money, but, you know, what do you do with your spending money? You know, I don't go out for dinner. I don't go out for coffee dates. I don't go out for a night of drinking. I don't smoke. I don't go to the liquor store more than a couple of times a year. I'm not any kind of clothes whore like I used to be a few years back. That's what I spent my money on, was clothing. And that may not have seemed as frivolous to some people, because, you know, other people share your joy in clothes. But, you know, right now, I just don't feel the same about looking like I can afford more than I can, you know. That's how I liked to dress. I thrift shopped and stuff, and, you know, was always getting deals, and sometimes I went to the boutiques and paid regular price on stuff, but, you know, I liked to look like $1,000,000, you know, and have spent, you know, under 100. And that's just not a priority for me now. A priority for me is to make it through the day with being pain-free, and to get out of bed. My goals in life are small compared to what they used to be. So $30 a month going back into my channel is a wonderful thing for me, and I don't want to lose it, because, you know, people who suffer depression and anxiety and other mental health issues can feel useless. They can feel like they're not contributing members of society. And that's what we all want to be, isn't it? In some small way, to be a contributor. And people expect us to be as well. And, you know, if you're not doing something that does that, it doesn't help the depression. You know, because you can think you're useless and that you really are useless, you know. And then you have something like making $30 a month on YouTube, working at it, you feel validated. And I think that adult coloring is a mental health issue. That it's more than a hobby. it is recognized as being therapeutic, and I believe it's even recommended to people to do with mental health issues. I know that it's been used by been given as treatment to people suffering from some forms of dementia, and also for PTSD. And it wasn't recommended to me for my anxiety, but I know that a lot of people with anxiety do adult coloring, and when I told I have both a therapist and a psychiatrist, and when I told them that I was doing it, I've been applauded. That, you know, my professionals know that it's good for me, and they say that it's good that I've found this way to center myself and to help the cure. Well, not the cure, because, you know, there is no cure. I'm not sure if PTSD is something that is curable or not. I don't know very much about it. So, I mean, one thing that I think should happen is that somebody in the coloring community should take on this issue from a mental health standpoint. I wish I could be the person that did that, but I'm the first person to say that I'm just not, what's the right word, accountable enough? Well, I can't be relied upon in that way, because if I have a bad day, I'm not available. And, you know, we need someone who is good at this sort of thing, who can take on the fight for us from a mental health standpoint. Then it becomes more than just a hobby. Not that it needs to be more than a hobby. I don't mean that. It's just that it is more than a hobby. For some people, it's their lifeline. And I've talked to plenty of people who have told me that that I'm an important part of their you know, days, which is very humbling. And you know, I mean, it brings tears to my eyes to think that, you know, and I have had tears over things that people have written to me in private messages because of the mental health side of this. So yeah, that's what I think we need, is someone who is going to take this on from a mental health standpoint. We have one person, there's one person I know of who has taken on the cause for arts and crafts. She is making an issue of it being a female thing. Now, I say thing when I don't know what word to use, so, you know, I'm the type of person who will turn to you and say, put the thing on the thing. And You better know what I mean, because I'm never going to come up with the right words. Oh dear. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. Not take yourself too seriously. But, you know, this isn't something to be laughed at. So, yeah, that person is, I used to watch her when I was into arts. Nerd E, the letter E, Nerd E, Jackie, I think, is her name. And some of the people that I've watched have said to go watch her videos because she's really addressing this from the point of view of informing you. I'm not doing that. I don't have big enough hold on things. Everything I've said so far is just my opinion that I have from the information that I have gathered. As I said before, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm not saying that my take on the information is you know, the way. It's just one person's opinion. So we'll get down to, what am I doing? What am I going to do? Because this is where it's going to affect you. If so far everything I've talked about has been for channel makers, but what about the people who just, oh, I shouldn't say just, because the subscribers are just as important as the makers, because the makers wouldn't have anything if it weren't for the watchers. So what if you don't have a YouTube channel? How is this going to affect you? Well, it's going to affect you by what's available for you to watch. Some of your most favorite shows are going to go away, just like it did when YouTube got rid of the creepy content. I used to watch a lot of true crime shows that were made by YouTube creators. They put on a show themselves. They had staff. They had the proper filming equipment. And I used to watch those shows because true crime is something that I'm very interested in. And that, of course, could be a topic for a whole nother color and chat, if anybody would be interested in that. And definitely not to the tastes of the majority. So yeah, anyways, they just went. One day they weren't there. And that was, then you would see them come back and they'd say they're going to make a go of it, and you got a couple of struggling videos, and then that was that. They were gone for good. And so that's what's going to happen with the big shows that are people's livelihood. Those shows are going to go, because who is going to put on a show, whether they pay staff or not, even if they're a one-person show and they do everything themselves? They have equipment to maintain. They also will have subscriptions to sites that, you know, help them do what they do behind the scenes, and they won't be able to afford that stuff anymore, and they'll go too, because who is even if you're, well, I shouldn't say even, because, you know, a lot of people aren't in it for the money, but they are, you know. That's like what I've been trying to say, is even if you're not in it for the money and you say you're not in it for the money, what you really mean is that you're 30 bucks a month or your $3 a month from Amazon is not being in it for the money. Really, you know, you're not going on trips with the money. It just, you know, covers the bills and you know, goes towards things that you need. Clothes, haircuts. So, yeah, those people, you know, like Jazza, he has said many times that he's a one-man show. And his content is just in no way going to be deemed not child-friendly. As soon as the bots scan his site, he will be labeled as a child-friendly site, and all his content will be demonetized. And from one day at being fully employed, the next day he will become a totally unemployed person with no income. You know, maybe that's not going to happen to him. Maybe he has other plans. But I'm just saying. So, back to what I'm going to do. So, for the last couple of months, I have been making this an adult coloring channel. It was anyways, but I didn't specifically say so. I just need to have it set up here. And I just grabbed another can of pop. I'm not drinking beer. That's not why I'm talking so much. I will prove it to you. Now, is that gonna make me child friendly? I don't know. So yeah, adult. So for the last couple of months, I've made sure that every single one of my titles had the word adult before the word coloring. If the video has a title that includes the word coloring, I stick adult in front of it. If I come up with a title that doesn't have coloring in it, I try and get coloring in it so I can stick adult coloring in there. If it doesn't, then I will put in brackets at the end, adult coloring. And then I make sure that my tags have lots of adult in them. Adult coloring books, other things too, for other kinds of videos. My brain isn't coming up with what they are right now. So that's what I've been doing so far, and I have noticed that it makes a difference. Like I said, I am seeing every day some of the people that I watch, their channels have been deemed, not their channels, sorry, never the channels, that it's not happening at that level right now. Their video that I'm watching has been deemed as child friendly, and you can tell that because on the right hand side, everything that's being recommended as for you to watch is some cartoon children's shows, and you're now in amongst them. You may look and see some of there'll be all these kids shows over to the side, and you may see another colorist that you watch in there. It means that video's been deemed as child friendly as well. You would think that being child friendly was a good thing, but right now you have to think of it as a bad thing. Don't think that by making your channel child friendly that you are taking the easy way out. You're setting yourself up if you do that. So that's what I have been doing. Just recently, we were all asked to mark our whole channel as child-friendly or not child-friendly. This is one part where I do advise you. I am telling you a fact here. Make sure you check off not child-friendly. If you want to keep or to ever get your channel monetized, if you want to keep your comments section, if you want to keep your community board, if you want to keep your description section, then you need to be not child friendly. Doesn't make sense, but that's what you've got to do. So that's what I did. And then the next thing it does is tell you to, it is ask you to, do you want to put a blanket change on all your past videos, or do you want to do it manually? So depending on your content, I've had several different topics be my main topic on this channel, but it's never been geared towards children, though I did have a very short period where I was doing some toy unboxings, collectible toys, but still the same, more toys than high-end collectibles. So I need to find those videos and go make them child-friendly, because you know, I think that by being as honest as you can, you can never lose in the long run. So if you've marked your channel as not being child friendly, once it gets to the point where they're examining each channel, and those are the ones that are going to get it first, because they don't want you marked as not child friendly, because that's what got them sued in the first place. So yeah, starting to run out of steam here a little bit, but what was I saying? Yeah, so anyways, those, I have to go back and find those videos. But the thing is I can't find any way to search my videos in YouTube Studio. Is there any other creators out there who know how to go to a specific video and make and edit it? And the only thing I seem to be able to do is go through my videos from beginning to end. I think I can change the order so it starts with oldest and goes to newest, and then I just browse through page by page by page. Well, that's never going to get me where I want, because I have a lot of content. And the other thing that I can do in a couple of places is make a blanket change, where I can say, you know, change this on every single one of my videos. So if anybody knows, if any creator out there knows how to actually get to a specific video and make edits to it through YouTube Studio, please contact me, and let me know. So a couple more points here. What are my plans now? I'm gonna watch very carefully what the big colorists are doing, because you can't go wrong by following an expert, and hopefully those people will have videos helping us out too. I know Anne at A Colorful Life, she did a video on this topic. If this topic is of interest to you, if you're a creator, definitely go watch that. Okay, so I've been through every color. Wow, and we're at an hour too. Well, we're going to obviously go over the hour because I'm not going to say this last little bit in 4 minutes, but so I seem to be switching around from end to end while I'm doing this. So yeah, let's take on the big claws. First I'm going to go through these with red again. Do my red and orange look alike? No, they don't. Good. And then I'll take on the big claw here. I hope you've been able to see what I'm doing. So let's finish off the top leg. And I'm also going to listen to official YouTube videos. We've had one of those. It was featured in YouTube Studio a couple days ago, telling you what was happening and some things to look for. What makes your channel child friendly. Some of them are ridiculous, like bright colors. I mean, this is the stupidity of what YouTube has chosen to do. I'm scared to look at the back. Oh man, it hasn't bled through anywhere. Well, I've got some, hey, right here. What did I do there? Right here. Huh, that's strange. These two right here bled through. Must have gone over them a couple of times. Otherwise, there's just ghosting, so that's perfectly fine. Cover that up when you work on the other side. Yeah, I mean, we're part of the art community. We use bright colors. What are we going to do? Color in black and white? I mean, that's silly. And we've got to start thinking of ourselves as adult coloring. Adult colorists. Because there has to be a distinction between children's coloring and adult coloring, which, as I've said before, adult coloring should bring up images of mental health issues. It can be useful for physical health as well, because I have physical problems that keep me in the house all the time and in bed a majority of the time. And coloring gives me something productive to do. And again, an incentive to keep doing it. And that's the YouTubing part of it. So follow what YouTube is telling you, because they're not out to get us. There have been plenty of times when they are out to get you, and I'm the first person to call YouTube bad names because of what they do to us. Because, they are more interested in advertisers than they are in creators and watchers, and that's what got them into trouble anyways. They were when they were recommending their channel to advertisers, they brought up the fact that they were like a leader in the children's industry. And, you know, they have been promoting themselves. They have the ability to find children's specific channels already. This is not something new for them, even though they're making this new machine for us. They already have the software to detect a child-friendly channel. Those are being promoted to, or they were being promoted to potential advertisers, and those are the ones that are put on. Those are the ones that are put on kids. Yahoo. Oh my God. My brain just like traveled back to the 90s. YouTube. That, I swear, it's Dr. Pepper, and you saw me open it, so I didn't add anything. Yeah, so that's why YouTube is in this state in the first place. It's their fault. Now, what's coming up? Number one, okay, so I finished the top leg now. And, you know, when I'm finished this, I have never done this with a Millie Marotta picture before, but I may just outline like a basic outline of this. It may. We'll have to see what it looks like otherwise. Okay, so one of the things that these machines are looking for is characters. We're not allowed to have characters. Now, this is what is going to get a lot of the artists off of YouTube, is if they are a character artist, if their art is drawing manga characters, anime characters, and there's a lot of those, or just plain old characters. I mean, Casey Golden, she's a big one. She's going to be in trouble because she draws characters, different characters, but she has a thing where her trademark is ants. And her ants are actual characters, you know. They have a personality to them. And so she always has a character in her thing, in her art. So does Drawing with Waffles. I mean, I just absolutely love her channel, but she is character driven, and that's going to be really sad with what they do. And so far we don't know. Like, there's nothing written in stone of what is going to happen. YouTube is just bringing things out slowly. So, yeah, characters. I don't color a lot of characters, but the one thing I have been doing is Disney, and I'm cutting Disney out of my channel. I will not be showing any Disney books. When I do my finished pages, I will tell you what I colored out of the book, probably without mentioning the name Disney, because obviously the first thing that Disney is just so huge that there's no point in, like, I mean, even telling somebody that Disney is huge. And Disney is not a company you mess around with either. So you're going to be searched for Disney. Of course, there's all sorts of other popular characters. But Disney is going to be looked for. So I am going to go through my videos and take Disney out of my titles. Once in recent times I have found my video in the children's section, and that was a flip through I did recently. No, not a flip through, a speed color I did recently from what was it? Oh, Disney Babies Magic Circle book. And I managed to get it back to normal. Like when I went to that video, all the videos on the side were children's. I'd been put in the children's section. That video, sorry, when I say I'm referring to my channel, so I should be careful not to say that. That video had been put in the children's section. Well, I changed my title and just took Disney out of it. In my description, I took Disney out of it. And then I watched it to see what happened. It took 3 or 4 days, so at first I thought my changes weren't being, had no effect on it, that probably it was the picture, because my thumbnail had a picture of, the cover with a title in it. So I mean, like, there's nothing I could show in my thumbnail that didn't have Disney in it. So I was figuring it was that, but after, I can't remember how many days it was, but, 3 to 4, after 3 to 4 days, it reverted back. It went back to being in the gathered together with other art community or coloring community videos. So I'm just not going to take the chance. I'm not going to have any Disney stuff. I'm still going to do it. I mean, I do this for fun. But yeah, there's not going to be any Disney stuff on this channel, which I know some of my subscribers are going to lament because they like the coloriage mystère stuff I do. And I like it too because I've brought some new material to people. I've been able to explain the Frenchness of these, explain them for English speakers. And I'm pretty good at doing them. I don't say so myself. Sorry. I don't mean to toot my own horn there. But nothing wrong with tooting your own horn every once in a while, as long as you don't get prideful about it. So, that's the first change that I'm having going forward. That stuff will be found on my Instagram channel. Every picture that I color, as soon as it's finished, I take a picture of it, and then every day I upload at least one picture to Instagram. I try to keep my pictures a couple of days ahead of what I'm posting. So when you see a post on Instagram, I will have colored it 2 to 3 days ago. And then at the end of the month I catch myself up so that I'm always working in the same month. Now I will also start taking pictures of Disney books that I hauled and put them on my Instagram channel. So if you want to see that kind of stuff, you're going to have to follow me on Instagram now. I don't really do Facebook. I have an account and I belong to Facebook groups, but comparatively, I belong to a small amount of channels. And I only belong to channels that I can be active in, and I can't be active in a lot at one time. So I'm at my max. If I want to join a new channel, I have to get rid of a channel that I'm in. So right now, I don't want to get rid of any channels I'm in, so I'm not joining any new ones. But I do not read my board, and I do not post to my, oh, sorry, I guess it's called newsfeed or feed. So I do not read my feed, and I do not post to my own wall. So if you want to be friends with me on Instagram, I check and see if I know you. You know, I don't have to know you, but, you know, I recognize your name from the groups, or you can tell me when you request to be friends with me that you're from such and such a group, and I'll friend you, because it gives you the ability to contact me, and that I don't mind at all. But if you want to see stuff, you're going to have to be on Instagram for that. So those are the two changes that are coming now. Is there's going to be more, as much emphasis as I can possibly make on adult coloring, that my channel is adult oriented, and there will be no Disney. If by any chance I get any other characters, they won't be posted on, they won't be included in any videos. All that character stuff will go on to Instagram only. So I've always tried to keep my two channels to be springboards for each other, so that they contained the same content but in different formats. And now Instagram is going to contain extra information. Other things I'm looking at is my speed colors. I may stop doing those. I definitely won't be doing any more Disney ones. So I'll do a few more. They're popular videos for me. I get good hits on them, so I'm not going to stop doing them. I'll keep doing them as long as people are watching them, and that they aren't causing me to get in trouble, because did I just do the wrong one? Oh no, there are extra ones on here, that's why. Okay. So, oh, whatever. So, yeah, the speed colors may go. I'll just be watching them, because they're just images and music, so they could easily be determined as children's material, so they may go. My color by number books, I am not getting rid of that, because I'm part of the movement that we've had for making color by numbers a thing for us. Yes, some of them are childish, and I'm not going to be showing the covers of those ones, and I'm not going to do specific child color by numbers on the YouTube channel. They'll be on the Instagram. So that's content that's going to be moved over to Instagram, is not all my color by numbers, but just the specifically children's one, or the ones that have extremely childlike covers. And the last thing that at the moment I'm thinking about is oh my God, I had the whole sentence formed in my brain, and then I just stopped thinking. Oh, there's one more thing. Well, maybe that was it. Oh, okay. Okay, there, I got it. I made no notes for this, so let me say this before I forget. I'm not going to be playing music in my flip throughs. I know I went through a whole poll thing, and I didn't really make any changes. I just kind of incorporated a little bit of what everybody wanted and just made a few tweaks to them. But again, the flip throughs are just images and music. So that can be deemed child friendly, especially if I'm doing a cute book. And some coloring books that are labeled adult coloring books are really childish pictures, that children could easily color or want to color. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not saying that, these artists' work is childish. I'm just saying that topically they could go into the child category. So, yeah, my flip throughs I'm going to try and talk through, though there will be plenty of just the sound of me turning the pages, and that's not going to mean that they're boring. I'm going to do my usual spiel, and then I'm going to turn the pages. After I've turned a few, I'll notice something like they all have frames, and then I'll mention that, or I'll mention that they're all portraits, or that there's a mixture of portrait and landscapes, and I may make a comment on a page. One thing I am not going to do is tell you what you're looking at, because that really bothers me. Like if I got to this page and said, oh look, there's a crab, and oh, isn't that sweet, the two seahorses. No, I won't be doing that, okay? So don't worry. So yeah, that's the other change. So we can sum it up by saying, from this time forward, no Disney or other characters, no children's specific books. Both of that material is moving to Instagram only. And finally, no music on my flip throughs. This may not be permanent. I just want to watch and see what happens to other people who are just doing music. I want to see if they get put into the child category. And then finally, my speed colors are on the fence. So, just a minute, one more thing here. Color this. And I'm going to finish now. This has probably been the longest color and chat I've ever had. I hope I didn't, if you're not interested in any of this stuff, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. But, if you're not interested in this stuff, I lost you a long time ago, so you're not here listening to me wrap up. So I hope that that what I've said has been of interest to those of you who are interested in this stuff, and that I may have helped clear up some things for you, and I did want to make you aware of what changes I was making, and perhaps some of what I've said will help you on your journey on keeping your channel not child friendly. It's so bizarre that we're talking about this topic, that it is a thing. Not being child friendly is now a thing. So, yeah, that's it. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to finish drawing. I hope you enjoyed watching me go around and around on my Millie Marotta picture. I love coloring her pictures. I love her art. It's just so, it does to you like what mandalas do. It puts you in the zone. And I totally was not thinking when I was coloring this and talking to you. It's a good thing. I'm glad to the person who suggested I color in a Millie Marotta book, because it has shown me that she is good color and chat material. I didn't have to stop to think what I was coloring to be able to talk. So, I will stop blabbering, and like I said, I hope I made sense with all my blabbering all over the place. I'm not a good talker, speaker when it comes to talking about important things. So, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you next time. So, in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.